Hi, I'm Donnie's boy, and I am the unprofessional mom. And I'm so glad that you're here because today is the first day, this is the first video of the unprofessional mom movement. So if you are here, I'm so excited because you are going to be a great part of this movement if this is something that you're interested in. So the unprofessional mom is a movement where it is my mission to help moms find success in the areas of their life that mean the most to them. Because to some people, success may mean having a lot of money, having the house they want. But for moms, it's a little bit more than that. Because yes, the money will be fine. Yes, the nice stuff will be fine. But there's more. Our physical health means a lot to us because we are out here taking care of people. That's what we do as moms. Our mental health, we need help with that. And definitely our financial health. And of course, parental responsibilities, balancing all of those things. So for this session, I call this session the pre-plan. And I call it the pre-plan because we are going to prep. This is where we're going to prep. Because what we do this for is to make sure that we have a good base or figure out where we are right now in your life as a mom. And the reason we want to do that is because it's hard to build a foundation somewhere and you don't know what you're building it on. So are we building it on sand? Are we building it on rock? Like it matters. Knowing what we're building the foundation on will allow us to figure out how far down we have to build, okay? That's very important to know. So what we're going to do with this pre-plan is get an idea of where you are right now, family too, if you want to add that in there. But we're also going to talk about where you want to be in the future because that's so important. And a lot of us fail because we don't have a clue. We don't write down. We don't really know where we want to be. We just have this random idea. So what I want to help you do is help you hone in on what you want out of life. And then of course, we'll take that into what you want, for your family as a whole, as far as what you can do, because there's certain things that you will not be able to do, and that's okay. So what I want you to do is promise me that you, my friend, are going to put in the effort, because if you don't put in any of the effort, it is not going to work. And I want this to work for you. So if you start doing this and you start putting in the effort, you're going to start noticing changes in your life, and people are going to start noticing the changes. Now, I always felt like I was a good person more or less in life, but it wasn't up until when I first started this journey, someone was like, oh, and it was one of my students. She was like, Miss Boyd, you've changed. And for her, it wasn't bad or good. And a lot of people who have been going on the same journey that I'm going on, they said the same thing. People were saying the same things to them. And it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but people could see it. And it's a good thing. If I'm honest, they can't put their finger on it. It's just a good change. That means our awareness levels are changing. And when your awareness level changes, your life changes. And that's what you want. You want a changed life. And in order to get a changed life, you have to have a changed mind, okay? So if you are looking for change, then this is good for you, because not only will you change, it will also cause change to the people around you. For me, for example, my kids started to change. They started to change in a good way. My husband, it was never bad, you guys, but you can see that we started getting a new awareness, realizing that we don't have to live a mediocre life. We don't just have to live a middle-class life. Like, those are things that you don't have to live wherever you are. You don't have to stay there. Even if you're rich, you can be rich. There are different levels that you can go to, but you have to have the awareness. Like, for example, when I was younger, I never thought I'd really be a millionaire per se, but I knew that I would always have a good job. Why? Because that's where my awareness level was there, thinking that a job was the best way to earn money. But that's something that we'll talk about at another time. So here's the deal. If you are ready to get closer to your change, the success that you deserve in all four of the areas that I talked about earlier, then it is time to get started. But what I want you to do is go ahead and make sure that you have a pen and paper ready so that you can start writing down the different steps. So today I have 3 things for you to do, and you can kind of just start going through it and go back to it, but definitely do it. Like, do not start and stop, especially if you really want change. But if you do stop, just remind yourself, it's okay, I'm going to get back to it, but don't stop and leave it. Okay? Don't just stop and leave it. Get back to it, because I know that things get busy. That's what they do, but they don't have to be busy. Let's make them productive, because that's what I do. And if you ever look at my other YouTube channel, Dunny's Boyd, I always say have a peaceful, positive, and productive day, because those are the kind of days you deserve, right? So same here for the most part. So here's the deal. I would ask that you find you an accountability partner, preferably a mom friend. Those are ones that are going to be great for you. Or if you have someone else in your life who you can trust, they would be a good person for you to do this with as well. So find your mom friend. You can share this with them, of course, and let them know, hey, this is what I'm doing. Help hold me accountable. And I actually have 2 accountability partners, outside of my husband, of course. But I have 2 accountability partners that actually hold my feet to the fire. They make sure that I do what I say that I'm going to do. And if I don't, of course, they're like, so why? What is your plan now? Because that's important. Because sometimes we get off course, but that's no excuse. We have to get back to it. So the first step in the pre-plan is literally to think about and write down where you are right now in life. For example, what do you do to earn an income? Do you have a job? Do you babysit? Like, what do you do? Are you in school and not really earning income right now? Like, what are you doing? Or are you a stay-at-home mom? Is your husband doing the work? Like, where are you right now? Where do you live right now? What is your current residence like? And of course, you can even write down how you feel about those things. Like, are you grateful for them? Are you not satisfied? And believe it or not, those are actually 2 things that are okay with. Some people believe that when you're not satisfied with something that you're ungrateful for it, but that is ultimately not true. When you are grateful for something, that means you're thankful that you have it, but not being satisfied means you know that you can have more, and it's okay for that. Like, I think that I live in a decent house, and a lot of other people believe so too, and I'm grateful for it. But I'm not satisfied, because I know I'm going to get another one, and I know that it's going to be our forever home when we get that. So in the meantime, make sure you, after I got off on my tangent, make sure that you write down things about where you are and how you feel about them. And do not feel weird about being grateful yet not satisfied, because that is totally okay. I actually encourage that, because once you become satisfied, then you have no room to want to change. And why are we here? To change, right? Okay, so even think about what your current mode of transportation is. Like, are you okay with that? Do you like your current mode of transportation? Would you like a new mode of transportation? Like, just think about where you are, how you feel about it. Also, because this is for moms, I want you to write down how many children you have, like their ages, stuff like that, and tell me what that's like. And what is your diet like? What do you eat or consume on a daily basis? Because these things play an important role in your life and how you can make change happen in your life. And what do you listen to, or what do you watch on a consistent basis or a continual basis? Because that, my friends, could actually make you or break you. What you eat, listen to, watch can make you or break you. So keep that in mind, but just write it down and write how you feel about that. Another thing I would say you should do is also write down some phrases that you use or say all of the time, because the phrases that you use shape you. And because it's almost like, have you ever thought about planting a seed in a garden? Think of your mind as a garden. Whatever you plant there will grow. So whatever you watch, listen to, or even say out of your own mouth, your subconscious mind cannot deny it. It can't reject it. It has to take it. So whatever you put in there is going to grow unless you purposely either not put it in there or reject it or dig it out, and that's okay. So that's what this is all about. We're going to try to get rid of the things that are not serving you so that you can find that change and find that success in the areas that mean most to you. So in addition to that, I want you to even put in there how you act around people. Like, are you nice to people? Are you rude to people? How you talk to people? I mean, be honest. And maybe you don't think, I won't say rude, but like, how do you converse or interact with people? Write that down. I'm not here to judge, I promise. Plus, you're on the other side of the screen here, so no judgment for sure. However, if I were to coach you, there would still be no judgment because I need to know where you are in order to help you get to where you need to go. All right, so if you can think of anything else that is important to you or anything else that you do on a habitual basis, write it down. Anything pertaining to your life. The next thing, the second step, determine what you want for yourself. What do you want out of life? Do you want a business? Like, first off, where do you see yourself in 5 years and 10 years? And this is so crazy because I just assumed that people thought of this, but not everybody think of it. They don't think, a lot of people don't think that far. They're just like, okay, I'm just focusing on today. And that's good. I want you to focus on the day at hand, what you have in your hand, which is today. Focus on that. However, I also want you to plan for tomorrow and the next day. So even though you focus on the day at hand, you still have to plan for the next day. You can't live the next day, but you can plan for it. So definitely write out as intricately as possible. Go into as much detail as you can and write out what you want out of life. You can go back to it later or whatever. So I have my favorite pens. I wish I had one right here with me. It's a I call it a friction pen, Pilot friction pen, and I can erase. Those are my favorite pens, you all. I'll make sure I put a link in the description for you. Those friction pens allow you to write and erase, and they come in a whole lot of different colors. So I will make sure I put that in there for you if you are interested. Now, the next part is, what do you want for your family? Now, this, I don't want you to think of things that you have no ability to change, but if there's something that you have the ability to change, then tell me. For example, if you want to help cultivate your children to behave differently, you can do that because our children behave the way we behave, or they behave the way that the things around them teach them. So what they watch, what they listen to, who they're around, and what those people say, all of those things are important. So what do you want for your children? Like, I want my children to realize that they don't have to get a job to earn an income. However, I want them to know that getting a job is also not bad. If they are passionate about whatever job they're going into, I want them to do it, right? But I also don't want them to think of that job as their main source of income. That's just where I am. I don't know about you, but that is something that I would definitely think about. And as far as my husband is concerned, I would like if the both of us could, in the future, have this big movement where we help moms and dads and families, make the changes in their lives that will not just be temporary changes, but will be long-lasting changes and change the world. I know that sounds cliche, but why not? Why can't that movement help change the world? And the very last thing are the action steps. So these are the action steps that I want you to take for this week, because I will do these weekly. So I want you to start focusing on what you want and not what you don't want. So the problem that a lot of us have let me back. So here's the problem. A lot of us, what we do is we focus more on the bad things in our lives that we don't like. And the crazy part is that when you focus on that, that's where your energy is. And that's kind of what happens. It's like, why would you set yourself up for that demise when you don't have to? So what I want you to do is to intentionally focus on what you want. And don't just focus on it, but write it down. When you first start, it's harder for you to focus on it because you have not gotten into the habit of doing that. So what I want to encourage you to do is either write it down every day, or if you have your phone, you can do like a message, you can, or a voice memo. Give yourself a voice memo and listen to it every day about what you want. And that will actually plant itself in your mind, and things, doors, all those things will start opening up for you. And when everything's come in your mind that you don't want, or that kind of pushes you the wrong way, two things I want you to do. One, see where it's taking you. If it's taking you to a point where you're getting all out of control, I need you to let it go. However, sometimes when those things come up in our mind, it shows us something that we are connected to, that we need to find a way to let go of it or resolve it, okay? So I would never tell anyone to just forget about whatever happened, because that's never gonna help you. It won't solve a problem. But I do want you, like, for example, if someone says something bad about you, don't answer to it. Like, you don't have to even participate in that. It takes two people to argue, right? So don't be the second person. Let them have it all to themselves, things like that. But if there's something in your life that you have been battling with, like a lot of people who feel like they are no good or can't do things, it's not because of something that somebody said one time. It's apparently something that's happened over and over again, and now it's internalized in your mind, and you kind of feel that way. And if you do, I'm so sorry, because it's the worst feeling to have. And when I tell you, that's where I was, especially when I started this, because my family, even though people see my family as a well-to-do family, we're middle class. You know, middle class is not bad. However, a lot of people in my family had some great business ideas, inventions, but they did not pursue them. Or they pursued them and something happened and it didn't get far, and they were like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this good job here. But that holds us back. And I do not want you to be held back anymore, because you don't have to. The only way that you can be held back is if you allow yourself to be held back. So I want you to get out there today, get you an accountability partner right now, accountability mom, and I want you to share this with them. So if you're truly ready, do this now. Share this right now to a mom friend. Go ahead and make sure you subscribe, because every week I will post a video like this to help you with the next steps. And eventually I will start doing some live sessions so that you all can interact with me. And if you have questions, I can answer those in the live sessions. And in the meantime, don't forget to give me a like and make sure you click that notification bell so that you'll be notified the next time that I post a video. So if you're here for change, I'm here with you for it. If not, that's okay. When you're ready, I will still be here. And if I'm not the one that you want to help you with that change, I totally get it. But I wish you luck no matter what. And guess what? I will see you next time.